Hey, what is going on, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Hope you guys are all having a great Saturday. We have got some very interesting developments about a UFO sighting that we posted in a video the day before yesterday. So I want to start out with that because this thing has gone viral. Now, if you remember, we were the first to break this sighting that occurred over Apache Junction, Arizona, where we have this piece of footage that you're seeing here of these strange lights that appeared in the nighttime skies. Really bizarre, because if you remember, and as you're seeing here, we have these lights here where we have the light to the very right on the end disappears, and then we have another light appear on the left-hand side. And this was very strange because I'd really never seen anything quite like this. And apparently, since we put up that video in the past 24 hours, other pieces of footage of these same lights hit the web, were picked up by local news sources in Arizona, and now it's getting a lot of publicity. So here's one of the news clips here.
Look at your screen right now, because these lights in the sky have a lot of people talking.
This particular clip out of Gilbert, we immediately reached out to Luke Air Force Base, rolled them out. They stopped flying at 5:30.
And the National Weather Service got word of this because of our phone call. And one more look for you. This video just in from a viewer, Todd Goodman, who tweeted, "Did anybody else just see a UFO?" The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration not confident with an explanation on this either. Once we get any clarity, though, we'll let you know.
All right, so this came from ABC 15. We have a new piece of footage of these same strange lights recorded over Gilbert, Arizona. We actually have two separate videos. One at the beginning, it's very short, and then a second one here from a Mr. Todd Goodman, showing the same strange light pattern, lights disappearing on one end and reappearing on the other end as this thing moves through the sky. Now, as you heard in the video, they have contacted the local military bases, have ruled out that these lights are flares or anything that has to do with the local military activity. And no one seems to know what these things are. Now, when I first saw these lights, you know, I really couldn't get a good idea of whatever this object may look like. And then it just kind of clicked in my head with the help of some of my viewers that this looks very much like you would have a spinning saucer that has lights wrapping around the end of it. You're seeing here a computer animated mock-up of what this craft may have looked like had we been able to see it and had the night sky just been a little bit more bright. And as you can see, it gives us the same effect that we're seeing with these lights, because as you have this saucer-shaped craft circling, we see the same effect where the lights on the right side of the saucer are disappearing back behind it, and as the lights continue to spin around, they reappear on the left side. So it definitely gives us an idea of what we're actually seeing here. This animation here was sent in by Mr. Scott Woods. We did not ask him to do this. He sent this in, took his own personal time to create this just so he could send it to us, and we're happy to put it on the channel. And he's right. In my opinion, this is definitely what we're seeing here. It looks exactly like a spinning craft with lights on it. And yeah, the mystery continues. Multiple people saw this thing over Arizona. If any of you guys out there have any footage of this thing that you've yet to release anywhere, be sure to send it over, because I'd really like to follow this specific sighting. It's very strange, and I really think that we have something here. And while we're on the subject of mass UFO sightings, we have another one that has just occurred over the Austrian cities of Graz and Vienna. Recently reported in this new RT.com article, where they spotted this shining light, this craft, this object sitting in the skies, literally frightened people into calling the police. And so we have a few different photos that have been uploaded to social media, Instagram. You're seeing the first photo here. We had other people posting to Twitter with other photos. You're seeing one of those here posted by another onlooker. And whatever this thing is, it's definitely an object of some sort. In this picture, it honestly kind of looks like a triangular craft. Whatever it is, we definitely see some lights on the outside wrapping around the rim of this thing. And then we have one big bright light in the center, which is very similar to the TR-3B style crafts, where they have the lights in the corners and one large light on the bottom center of the craft. Usually that light is red, but we've also seen white lights like this. There was another short piece of footage that we found. It's actually a GIF, and you're seeing that here, where we have a real short clip of this object hovering here in the sky, sort of moving back and forth, almost giving us that sort of wobble effect. Now, some have said this is a drone. Others have said, I mean, a lot of people who witnessed this thing thought that an alien invasion was imminent. Reports have said that this thing was large, way too large to be a drone. And another thing about this sighting, as we mentioned earlier, is that this same object was sighted in 2 different towns. Now, these 2 locations are around 200 kilometers away from each other. Or in other words, about 2 hours and 5 minutes of driving. So that kind of gives you the idea that, you know, maybe this wasn't a drone. Because I've yet to see any drone on the market, even the best drones on the market, don't last usually any more than a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes if you rig them up with extra battery power. But for this thing to be seen in 2 separate locations over 200 kilometers apart on the same night, yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to be so quick as to label this a drone and then move on to something else. So we have 2 mass sightings that have happened over the past couple of nights, unexplained. The military is denying that they had anything to do with it. And if any of you out there over Vienna or Graz, Austria, send me an email if you have any new info. But, you know, at the very least, keep your eyes open and we'll try to get some answers here. Now, on to another very mysterious piece of footage that I was just emailed yesterday from a viewer in Salt Lake City, Utah, who was leaving a pizza place when she spotted this large black object sitting quietly in the sky. So I will go ahead and play you the clips here, and we'll talk more in a second, so check this out.
Not looking at you. It's crazy. Is it?
All right, so this was sent over by Jayla, who said she was walking out of a Papa Murphy's Pizza when she noticed this object in the sky, and at first she thought it was a balloon because she said it was moving a little bit, but then realized that it wasn't once the object, in her words, locked itself in the sky. Completely stopped moving, sitting inert. So we have 2 clips here. The first clip is when it's the lightest out, and we get a better view of the object, and we see it just sort of sitting there, hovering. And as you notice throughout the video, we have some close-up shots here. This thing definitely looks like a triangular shape to me. And yet again, another triangular-shaped craft. Probably one of the most common UFOs that we've seen. We've seen them on Earth, we've seen them in space, we've seen them on other planets and moons. So this thing sat there for a while. She attempted to call her husband while she was filming, and that accidentally stopped the video. So then she started recording again, where we see that it's gotten a little bit darker. And this thing, I mean, the second clip is over 6 minutes long. So we just showed you edited clips of that earlier, and you're seeing it here again. But this thing sits there from the beginning, from where it's light out, to the very end where the sky is pitch black and we can no longer see it. The street lights come on. And that's what you're seeing here. We're showing you the second clip, and you'll notice that this object does move at some points. At the beginning, it's sitting high up in the sky. It suddenly begins moving to the right slowly, and then we get a second shot above these trees here, which is where we get the best view of the shape of this thing. And again, as you're seeing this here, this looks like a rounded triangle. And, I mean, look at it. It is just sitting there. You know, almost as if it's doing reconnaissance, you know, making no sound whatsoever. And, you know, a lot of people say that the UFOs that you really want to look out for are the ones that don't have any lights. You know, you always get a lot of comments from people saying, why would UFOs have navigational lights? Why would they want themselves to be known in the first place? And so we do get a lot of UFOs. We get some strange lights. Some people take that as to mean that they are always drones, but we have proven that not to be the case. We don't know why some of these UFOs have lights. I mean, I'm not going to sit here, and I doubt any of you could either, and try to explain the bizarre, otherworldly, you know, intricate inner workings of an alien or black project back-engineered spacecraft. But again, some have lights, others don't, and a lot of people say those are the ones like this one here that you really want to look out for. Because obviously, the object has no use for any lights. That, once again, would pretty much rule out the fact that it's a drone, that it's something that you would actually need to be able to see in the dark and keep track of. And it's just a very ominous, intriguing piece of UFO footage. So any of you guys in Salt Lake City, stay on alert, because there is something moving over the skies over there. So big thanks to Jayla for sending this over. Now, lastly today, we have some new developments in the WikiLeaks email dump that has been making waves throughout the online community. We have gone through some of these Podesta emails that were recovered from Hillary Clinton's email servers, some of which that have revealed discussions going on between Mr. Podesta and Apollo astronauts, other UFO researchers, where it's been shown that there has been an ongoing dialogue about the alien phenomenon. And now we have some new information that it wasn't only our government that has been interested in the UFO and alien phenomenon, but also the United Nations. This comes after the release of a new WikiLeaks email document that goes into detail with Americans' interactions with countries around the world, including the Grenada Prime Minister Eric Gary and his efforts to organize a United Nations-based committee to research and investigate global UFO reports. And many of these documents, which were written by American UN officials, clearly indicate how closely they were monitoring Grenada's UFO-related activities. You're seeing this document here, and according to the info we have, this all started back in 1978, where there had been a lot of mysterious activity happening over Grenada, which is a country in the Caribbean, if you don't know. Basically, it talks about how the UN aided in meeting with a group of UFO researchers, along with the UN Secretary General, Kurt Waldheim, as you're seeing in this picture here. And the men sitting in this table were a group of military, scientific, as well as psychological experts who met at the United Nations to discuss an upcoming presentation that was going to happen at the UN that was to discuss the future of peaceful operations happening in space, as well as UFO activity over Earth. And as you'll notice going through these documents, and we'll link to them below, is that basically there was a high level of interest to UFOs and the alien phenomenon by the United Nations that has been going back since the mid to late 70s. Another document that was brought forth from December 8th, 1978 stated, and I quote, "The General Assembly invites interested member states to take appropriate steps to coordinate on a national level scientific research and investigation into extraterrestrial life, including unidentified flying objects, and to inform the Secretary General of the observations, research, and evaluation of such activities." And, you know, basically what the significance of all of this is that throughout these documents, especially these email dumps from WikiLeaks, we are discovering new information each day that gives us an insight into how governments as well as politicians look at the UFO phenomenon. And it would appear that there was a huge interest within our own government here in the US, there was interest within the United Nations, and we're learning that the study of the alien phenomenon has been ongoing, happening behind closed doors for over 50 years, something we've spoken about before. However, now we're able to show documents that confirm and corroborate that. So, very exciting times. It's just another piece of evidence that proves that we're not all crazy. We're not a bunch of tinfoil hat wearing crazies. And the fact that we now know this, I mean, it just gives us even more of a reason to continue this search. So that's what we're going to do. Head over to WikiLeaks. You can search the emails yourselves. There's a ton in there that we're definitely likely going to do videos on in the future. Emails we haven't even seen yet. So if you find anything, send it over. We'll post a video on it. And one last thing before we go today, I was sent a very special letter that was sent over to me on Twitter earlier tonight before I started this video, and it really touched me. It really did. Apparently, a gentleman's little daughter wanted to write me a letter, and she did write me a letter. You're seeing the tweet here from Mr. Moose Martinez, who said, "I thought this was cute. My daughter wrote this to you." So I will go ahead and read the letter here. It says, "Dear Secure Team 10, I am 7 years old. Me, my mom, and dad love your YouTube channel. We have been watching it for a long time now. You inspired me to want to be an alien hunter when I grow up. My two heroes are my dad and you, because you tell the truth and watch on us. And my dad for letting me watch your videos. My mom always punishes me. I am writing to you to thank you for the videos and to tell you that you are my hero. Thank you, and keep watching out for us. Sincerely, Vivian." Oh boy, this was just touching. It really touched my heart. And Vivian, if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you so much for your warm, heartfelt, and just lovely letter here. I'm glad that my videos have inspired you to keep your eyes on the skies and to help you understand all of the amazing things that are happening in our world and in our entire universe. And I really want to say thank you. So, big thanks. I feel like someone's chopping onions near me, and I think we better end the video here. But thank you very much, Vivian. I am going to print out your letter and keep it close by. So, to everyone else, I would hope that I inspire the same feelings and that this research in some way or form gives you a satisfaction, entertainment, or just an overall different outlook on this little planet that we live on. So, I appreciate all of you. We're going to keep it coming. Stay tuned, because I am going to be posting the results of the microphone drawing in our next video, which will be out probably in the next couple of hours. So if you entered for the microphone contest, be sure to stick around. I will post on Twitter and Facebook when that video is about to be up, and we'll see who won the microphone. Alright, so thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you all back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.
you.